Bam Adebayo slamming it home, skying for that one. So Miami goes up by 6. Couple of possessions later, still a 6-point game. Hero in transition. Tyler Hero, it's the 15th time he's come off the bench to score 25 or more points. He had 27. He's been excellent. KD not happy there, but little happier here. Gets that roll, yes. Kevin Durant, 31 points in his long-awaited return. 2-point game here. Adebayo in the post. Gets that one to go. Yes, he had 30 points, 11 boards, and 6 assists as Miami spoils KD's return. Bittersweet for him and the Nets, 113-107.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can look at it from the outside looking in, and everybody loves to show their basketball IQ when they're looking at on the paper. But, you know, you look on the stat sheet, they have 4 guys with 20. So it's like they had all-stars out there tonight. You know what I'm saying? So you can't underestimate anybody in this league. You know, so when you get 4 guys with 20, man, it shows how deep their team is.
Definitely, for sure, but they needed that win, especially with Kevin Durant coming back. He did pick up right where they left off, where he left off after 6 weeks off with that game-high 31. That's actually tied with Eric Gordon, 2016, Larry Hughes in 2005 for the most points over the last 20 seasons by a player who had missed at least 15 straight games. So some good news there, Matt.
There is some good news, but the news stops there for the Lakers. How much lower is rock bottom for LA? Came in having lost 6 of 7. Clippers have won 7 straight over the Lakers. Who saw that coming without all their stars? Luke Kennard stepped back. Clippers up 17. 43 seconds left. Lakers down 8. LeBron. Bucket foul. Lakers down 5 after the free throw. 26 points, 8 rebounds for LeBron. Next Clippers possession. Terrence Mann turns it over. We're going coast to coast. Noon Eastern. TV time! Rest in peace. Malik Monk. Lakers 14-0 run to cut the lead to 3 at the half. Early third. Mann to Nicholas Batum. Corner 3. Find your guy. Clippers use a pivotal 5-0 run. The run is now 7-0. This is where the game was decided. Batum to Reggie Jackson. Make it a 10-0 run. This thing got out of hand because of this. 12-0 run. Jackson with the layup. No defense. Steve Ballmer not drinking decaf. Clippers 14-0 run. Clippers stage 23-0 run in the third quarter. 23-0. Clippers win 132-111. 7th straight win over the Lakers. Russell Westbrook, what is going on?
What did I envision? You said you envisioned this to be a certain way. I want to know what you
did. You envision it to look like this?
I had no expectations. See, that's why you don't know what I envisioned. I had no expectations. I come into every situation the same. Last 4 years of me, I've been on different teams 4 times. So my envision of kind of thinking everything gonna be peaches and cream, I don't. That's not realistic. That's not life.
What kind of pride factor is there playing a team that you share an arena with, share a city with, and having them go 4-0 over the season series?
Many a better team.
Westbrook, I envisioned an undershirt. That's just me.
That would have helped.
But they lost. The 9th place Lakers, now just 1 game ahead of the idle Pelicans, holding on to that final play-in tournament spot. 2 games ahead of the Blazers, who are currently on the outside looking in. Sage, to make things worth, Lakers with the hardest remaining schedule in the NBA. That according to BPI.
Okay. To the rescue is NBA analyst Chiney Ogwumike with answers. I know you've got answers for this Lakers squad, Chiney, because they're barely hanging on to a play-in spot right now with 20 games left. They got a ton of issues with this old roster. So as far as X's and O's are concerned, Chiney, what should their biggest focus be during this last desperate push?
Well, we are very familiar with LeBron James and particularly the Lakers. When it comes to playoffs, they mean business. He goes dark on social media. Well, this is playoffs time right now because I said not too long ago after All-Star break, the next 10 games are crucial. And what have they done so far? Gone 0-4. And so when I'm thinking about the Lakers right now, if they show you who they are, believe them. And they've shown us that they're a team that had 12 new pieces and 14 now to date. They've showed us that LeBron James is still at the top of his game. He can put up 30. I think he's had 27 consecutive 20-point games, but they've still lost. So we have to believe at this point that this Lakers squad, especially based on the messaging from what you just heard from Russell Westbrook, which is beyond surprising, that they are not necessarily primed to figure it out right now.
At this point, we should be surprised and impressed if they do somehow make their way into true playoff contention. A lot more to come on that. Let's go to the Eastern Conference, because the Nets, they got to be smiling after seeing Kevin Durant return and look like the KD of old after missing so many games. But they're still 8th in the East. They still have a lot of work to do. We don't know when Ben Simmons will play. He's got a back issue out indefinitely. So I think it's only fair to ask about chemistry, Chiney, and how this team will gel with only like 18 games left to play. What are your thoughts on the importance of that?
And this is an interesting segue because chemistry affected the Lakers without their stars, and chemistry can affect Brooklyn without their star. And kudos to Kevin Durant for coming back. You know, it's almost like in the middle of the night, like just saying, I got to play and hoop, because when I played and when I stopped playing, we were #1 in the East, and now, you know, this team has struggled. I think the only teams with the worst record since about January 16th, around 3-15 or 3-16, are the Rockets and the Knicks. And so KD comes back. He looks great with 31. But right now, the Brooklyn Nets are in an extremely precarious position, meaning Kyrie unavailable at home. And if they're in the playoffs, were to start right now, they could play Toronto, and he couldn't even play at all in the playoffs. You look at the situation with Ben Simmons, that March 10th date, which is sort of soon, but there's no guarantees that he'll play soon either, you know, with that. So a lot of teams in the East are rising. The Nets have had more competition, and even KD is looking like his talent's so great, he may not be able to save their season.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Durant, maybe like LeBron James. You're going to need more than that. And oh, by the way, when Ben Simmons comes back, he hasn't played since last May. So who knows what they're going to see out of Ben Simmons when he does get out there. By the way, the Nets 32-32 this season. First time since late October. They have not had a winning record. It is not pretty in Brooklyn either. By the way, they're in Boston Sunday, 1 Eastern on ABC. Chiney, thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.